45 minutes in half one. The Panthers looking for their second straight regular season title, this time in their brand new digs. Let's do it from the 305. Remaining starters for FAU. Receipt Graham Pratt, Leo Keller, Shadi Maichi, Nacho Elastui, Victor Claudel, Sebastian Chettle, David Viola, Tom Abrahamson, Blake Dean, and Arthur Vijay. Meanwhile, for FIU, it's more or less the same starters we've seen all year. The biggest change, the re-entrance of Carlos Scheckerman, bringing his 6'5" physical presence to the back line for the FIU Panthers.
And you're ready to look at this, not even a minute in. FAU having about 5 players up, so it's a big challenge defensively for FIU. How do you start this game? A lot of communication when the ball goes over exactly like this. Player shifts, communication, rotation in that back line needs to be spot on.
Har nearly turning it over in the first third, but FIU rallies to it and does the job. The start of this game couldn't be more important. If FAU scores first, they only need a draw to extend their season. They could park the bus if they get up, so FIU needing to be cognizant of that tonight. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, a number of scenarios in play, but the easiest is win. You do that, nothing else in the AAC matters tonight. The Panthers are champions in the regular season. FAU trying to play it long, challenging that back line. Har will be needed, and now it'll go by the wayside. Hildebrandt there to reclaim it.
And really good positioning there from the FIU back line. You're going to see a lot of this from FAU to set the tempo early, putting the balls in behind. So if you're hard, you have to be extremely quick off your line to deny. Play that sweeper keeper. Don't give any FAU any sort of confidence in this first 10-15 minutes here.
And Kevin Harr's first match this season against Akron, his positioning wasn't what he would have hoped for. A couple of critical miscues that wound up costing FIU that match. But we've seen Har get better and better, and now he bookends the regular season with starting nods for Kyle Russell's team. Trying to play it up there was Dos Santos Montero, but FAU backline holds well, and the Panthers begin to build from mid. Afrifa charging strong. Steven's going to get a touch on this. Afrifa turns, pass straight to the middle. FAU withstands that initial bid. Arthur Videz there. FIU back on the ball, cross in, right in front! Almost for FIU. The Panthers asking questions right away. Hodek battling. Hodek withstanding a tackle attempt. Hildebrandt can't reclaim it. FAU holds strong, and it's an Owl possession.
And if you're Kyle Russell, you have to be extremely pleased with how you're starting this game. On their front foot, playing in and around that 18-yard box. Afrifa, Hodek getting involved. Winning second base balls is going to be extremely important for FIU in their attacking phase of this game. A lot of movement in and around that 18-yard box, and testing the shape of FAU is going to be extremely important.
A capacity crowd here at the FIU Soccer Stadium. For the second year in a row, the FIU Panthers play for a regular season championship in the final match of the year. Last year, it was the reigning national champions in Marshall. Winner won Conference USA. FIU won that match in resounding fashion. That wasn't necessarily the shape this year. That one was circled from the word go. This one, you always care because it's a rivalry. But FAU are the ones who set this up with their win over SMU. The Horsies fell down and provided FIU a chance, along with FAU, to extend their season. Panthers clear it all the way nearing mid with a Scheckerman clearance attempt. FAU taking a long ball. Har handles the Elastue shot easily.
It's a big challenge for Hodek and Lebanon in the middle of the field. You never want to get caught on the same plane. As one pushes high, one needs to stay a little bit deeper. You can't give time and space for that front line for FIU. They're too good, they're too explosive. But in the end, good save from Kevin Hart.
For Nacho Elastue, just his first shot on goal this year. The FAU number 10 has been limited, but he's picked up starts in the last 4 matches for the Owls. The senior from Zaragoza, Spain, gets the initial shot on goal for his season and in this match for FAU. Joao Dominguez is the one who's a little bit shaken up there for FIU, but He'll just be afforded a moment to gather his wits, and we'll see a Panther free kick. Ball played in. Scheckerman's got some room. Is it too heavy? No. FIU's cross goes out wide. Here's our first corner kick of the evening.
Looking for quality service.
Panthers, though, dominating pace of play in the first 6 minutes.
Good effort there from Yushi. As this ball pops out, it's going to want to hit it a bit cleaner, but as it skips off the turf, it's always a difficult situation for defensive unit. I think that's on target. FIU's up 1-0. Lucky enough for the FAU Eagles. Goes just wide of the post.
Yushi is currently on a 4-game point streak. 3 of them have been assists, but he has been the catalyst for the FIU offense. Along with, of course, Stephen Afrifa, who makes his bid for AAC Player of the Year this evening. Currently 3rd in points. Oh, Yushi almost hit a massive turn, but he was fouled. Panthers get a free kick, entrance to the final third. Hodek will once again serve as delivery man. Hodek's ball in, lofted well, punched away. Lavenant nearly had a chance. Owls looking for a counterattack. Yushi defending well. Panther possession. Nagao does the job.
And how good is this from Yushi Nagao? Wearing number 10 on his back, and rightly so. Known for his attacking presence and how he plays in the pocket, but to do the defensive duty, senior night, to lead by example, top class there from number 10 in white.
Yushi has mirrored the pattern we saw from Stephen Afrifa in last year's campaign. Growth match over match, and by the end of the season, now one of the most important players on the roster. And it doesn't matter at which end of the pitch, Yushi Nagao is the most improved player on this FIU side without question.
Your attention, please. 2 vehicles that are legally parked. We ask that you please move your vehicle at this
Neil Strauber huddles up that FAU defense. He didn't love that that ball got that close, so they rally up. And we have 2 vehicles illegally parked here at the FIU soccer stadium. There is absolutely no room for anything. You'd expect a good road crowd for an FAU match. FIU has packed their home house. Incredibly meaningful minutes between the 2 South Florida AAC teams. Setup is long, Panthers retain possession. Played long, interesting service there, and brilliant defending by David Garcia. Popped up. FIU fans looking for a little whistle there. They won't get it. Lavenant plays it right wing, feeding a Afrifa, but it's taken away at the last. David Viola saving the Panther counterattack there. Still FIU gets a throw in. Hodek's going to put his quarterback jersey on for the Cats. Hodek, long throw in intended for Scheckerman, loose in the area, volley and a save. Neil Strauber gets to it. Not everything on the redirect, but forcing Strauber to go down to the pitch.
And you can already see FAU having a lot of trouble with balls being pumped into dangerous areas. Time after time, FIU has been on the end of it, and Strauber has come up big, but if you're FIU, realize that, keep pumping balls into dangerous areas. Good things happen when you get a lot of traffic in and around that 6-yard box.
This is far and away the best start for FIU on set piece opportunities. Everything but the cash in with about 10 minutes elapsed here at the FIU Soccer Stadium. Two incredibly physical teams to add on to the stakes and the rivalry. This is number 1 and number 2 in the American in yellow cards. So we expect a whole lot of chippy in addition to high energy between the Cats and the Owls. FAU tosses it in. Hodek got the initial interception. Owls surging, played to the middle. Just a bit too heavy. Blake Dean, the intended target.
You have to be very careful if you're Hodek and Lavenant in the middle of the field. You see how good FAU is switching the point of attack. Hodek, Lavenant shift to the left-hand side. They both get caught out of position. Unfortunate enough for FIU, that pass is a bit too heavy into Dean.
Blake Dean, one of a few Owls to get a shot on goal in last year's matchup. He challenged Hogan. Hogan made the save as FIU won that match 4-0. The Owls last year 9-7-3, but this is a very different FAU team. A handful of transfers and newcomers getting meaningful minutes. Haven't quite had the season they want, 4-8-3 overall, but a win or a draw today, and none of it matters. They play on and go into the postseason. Dos Santos Montero goes down, foul FAU.
And that's the play that you need to get going if you're Kyle Russell. Dos Santos Montero, just such a special player. You look at him, you look at Miguel, you look at Afrifa. Those players can change this game at a drop of a hat. Already over 13 minutes in this match. Haven't really said their name much, so if you're Kyle Russell, you want to get them confident in around that 18-yard box in isolation play.
Hodek has been a busy man early on in this contest. Checkerman at 6'5", at the vanguard of the area here for FIU. Hodek, hand up. And cross in, a lot of air under it. Owls first to it. Yushi was right where he needs to be. Joao, Afrifa. Afrifa to Dominguez. Dominguez from the left flank, running out of time. A goal kick for FAU. The young Joao Dominguez seeing increases in minutes as this season has gone on. Got the first 90-minute showing of his FIU career against Memphis. A thrilling victory for FIU. The Panthers have had to come back. They have suffered their lumps in conference play. 5-2-1 against the American after a 7-0-1 mark against CUSA competition, a very good CUSA a year ago. The Panthers have been much more challenged in 2022. Despite that, they play for a championship. Joao, necessary defending here. Ball in, a chance and a block. I think Har got it, as did David Garcia. About the deepest possible throw here for FAU following the Elastui shot.
And you can see the relationship with Elastui and Claudel as one pushes out to the right-hand side, the other one stays centrally. Number 10 and 11 have a very good relationship. So if you're in the back line of FIU, your whereabouts of those two players needs to be spot on here tonight.
Nacho has not had a shot the last 3 games for FAU, but number 10 is activated in a big way for the Owls here tonight. No harm. And Har gets to send it away. FIU's been good at home this season, 5-2. Undefeated here in the 305 a year ago. Feeding off the crowd energy, but still in the first third of this opening half, we sit scoreless, 0-0, FIU and FAU. Nacho manages to force the turnover at mid, and FAU starts their build. They'll retain it with a throw.
But it's better rotation in the middle of the field there as Hodek puts that tough challenge in on the left side. You see Lavenant stay centrally when you have those two pivot players, you never want to get caught on the same plan. It's always that give and go relationship. Very, very good positioning in the middle of the field for Kyle Russell's boys.
Scheckerman clears easily. We mentioned the CUSA results last year for FIU. A free fall almost. Created a little something out of nothing there. It was FAU who turned on the Jets come conference tournament time. They went all the way to the CUSA final, including a win over Marshall, who again was the reigning national champion, before they fell to Kentucky, who had a professional goalie and one of the best back lines in the country. I think that got up on top of Nacho. FIU quickly resumes off a free kick. Lavena and Dominguez. Dominguez, a nice move. Joao, ball in the box. A lot of air underneath it. Goal kick, Owls.
He does the hard part there, Dominguez, to skip away from his defender. But now you get at that point in time, you have to compose yourself, put a quality service in. Then he gets a bit too eager, tries to whip it too much, unable to get his hips around, and that's why you see it go over the end line.
So far, so good for FAU. They've withstood every challenge. Last year, FIU put 13 shots up against Neil Strauber. He wound up with 6 saves, en route to leading Conference USA in saves a year ago. In good this year with 40. FIU would love to challenge him again. Lavenant plays it out wide. FAU was right there. Flag up, foul against FIU. They tag Lavenant.
Probably the best passage of play for FAU, up, back, and through. Maiotti plays into Zettel, bobs it back into Claudel, and he does extremely well to draw. A dangerous set piece for FAU. So now you're testing the relationship, the conversation, the communication between Kevin Hart and his back line. The defensive unit for FIU needs to stay together. It's one drop, they all drop. You can't have one drop stay high. That's where you see the confusion.
Let's see what Joey Worthen and his coaching staff have drawn up for FAU. Tom Abrahamson, the initiator for the Owls. Abrahamson's ball, plenty of air under it. Hard dives and secures. Probably a little bit heavier than FAU was hoping for, but the Panthers easily withstand the bid. And we still play on 0-0. As much as FIU has dominated pace of play, the overall game script favors FAU. They only need a draw. And with this prolific FIU offense, 20 scoreless is a win. Afrifa. Hildebrandt trying to set up Benny, not yet. Hildy on the through, finds Dos Santos Montero. Amidst 2 Owls, he had nowhere to go. But the VJ gets the job done, but Nagao right back at it for FIU, feeding Afrifa. Afrifa to Nagao. Nagao in the area. Strauber has it.
And how good of a little combination is that between Nagao and Afrifa? Has his FAU side completely beat. But once again, Strauber comes out extremely quick, extremely big to close down any sort of angle for Nagao.
As veteran as it gets, the super senior Neil Strauber keeping things equal. FAU wants a handball. They're not going to get it. Nagao. Yushi was looking for Shiraishi, left it short, so Miyachi takes it away. Nagao picks up a foul. Shadi Maechi earns the free kick for FAU. Maechi, like French, yeah. Hildebrandt working inside, doing the job. Trying to find Dos Santos Montero as a relief valve. Abrahamson redirected hard, needed, and Jolly on the spot. FIU wants it all at once on the counterattack. Keeps FAU on the front foot. Owls continue their best run of play. Claudel out wide. Claudel, heavy touch, trying to reclaim it before the end line. He does not. Goal kick.
And once again, it's very good defensive positioning for FIU. As this ball comes across, you can just see the rotation, whether it's Dominguez, whether it's Aguilar, Sheckerman, just moving as a unit. That forces Claudel to not have any options as you win a goal kick. Kevin Hart. And if you're Kyle Russell, yes, you're putting a lot of pressure on the back line, but you want to get a free foot and Nagao on the ball a bit more. Dos Santos Montero. Also, the combination play is going to be your best bet. Quick movements, pulling players out of position on top of that 18-yard box.
A testament to the quality of starter and the importance of the match. As we near 23 minutes played, neither team has made a single substitution as of yet. Everything on the line, both squads know it. The best 22 available going at it in a South Florida skirmish. Dos Santos Montero playing it up. Shiraishi goes down. Intriguing position for FIU, but they're unable to capitalize. Fumiya Shiraishi, one of the guys that Kyle Russell had the most praise for here down the stretch, noting that he joined the team later than a lot of these guys and came from that junior college level where the style of play is completely different than Division I. But Shiraishi's really grown into the role and had a lot of success here for FIU.
Well, as an athlete, as a soccer player, if you want to keep on going into higher ranks, the ability to adapt, to pivot to different circumstances, environments, styles of play is going to be extremely important. Shiraishi shows this coming from a junior college into Division I. Yes, it's going to be different in terms of play, but also the talent level is going to be completely different. Best players in the country here in Conference USA, or Conference America, excuse me, and he's just been spot on so far.
Ashway fell down. That gave FIU a chance to clear. Yushi Nagao making a very similar jump. Both of the Japanese players on this FIU side coming from Marshalltown Community College. Hildebrandt trying to keep it in. Did. FAU backline called upon with Pratt. That allows FAU time to get set on defense. Throw in for Hildebrandt. Hildy was looking for the deep throw. Pratt was first to it. FAU clears easily. Sheckerman across the FIU logo. Under 20 to go in half one. Back pass all the way. Strauber sends it away. Panthers will have a throw-in.
You can see it, FAU having a very difficult time dealing with the FIU press. So if you're that front line, keep putting pressure on the back line of the Eagles. Try to force a turnover in your attacking half.
Relatively loose in the area, but FAU is right where they need to be. Pratt doing a nice job for the Owls this season. Over 1,000 minutes played. Second on this team in usage. Might be needed again. Dos Santos Montero starts things right side. Hits the nice move. Finds Hodek. Hodek pops it up and out. Let's see if Julian goes for that deep throw again. Sure enough, Hodek's going to load up. Hodek fires in. Scheckerman does get ahead on it. Scheckerman couldn't get the final touch. Well done by Mayashi. He got to it first to redirect. Now Afrifa. Steven didn't get a foot on it. So clinical right in front of goal. If he gets one touch, FAU averts disaster.
And those are always tough for a striker. Yes, you want to hit it first time, but you can't hit it first time when it's at its highest point. That gives time and space for the FAU defenders to collapse and put traffic in front of the ball.
Hodek unloading again, looking for Scheckerman. Carlos did get ahead on it. Scheckerman, Afrifa. Afrifa turns, fires, and misses just off the post.
Such a crafty little turn here from Steven Afrifa. Just uses Pratt and turns him like a bottle cap. Tell you what, if that's on target, it's causing a lot of trouble for Strawberg. The ability to play with your backing to goal in and around that 18-yard box is something that is just so important for a striker. Yes, everyone can play when the game's in front of you. But when you're playing back to goal, that's where the money is made for a big-time striker like Steven Afrifa.
Yeah, you say money is made. I think that's the right way to phrase it for Steven Afrifa. That finishing ability has drawn interest at the next level. But right now, Steven's solely focused on an American championship. Then he tried to hit the back heel. Instead of a corner, it's the deepest possible throw for FIU. And we'll see our first substitution of the match. Rasmus Tabinski will come in. He relieves Shiraishi. Rasmus with the highlight goal against Charlotte. A beautiful ball in that he heads home. We talk about players who have battled to get healthy this year. Rasmus missed the entire pre-conference schedule, working for months through PT, and now is back at full flight for FIU. I thought it was particularly telling after he scores that goal, he sprints over to the bench and hugs the trainer. Tells you a lot. Hodek and Hildebrand. Lobbed right back in, looking for Scheckerman. It's Afrifa. Steven with the ball at his feet. Afrifa shot is blocked. Rasmus turns, fires, follow-up shot is blocked. Hodek does not allow any relief for FAU. Panthers not done with this question yet. Joao and Hodek. Abrahamson went over the top and does eventually take it away. Well done by Abrahamson for FAU. Owls looking for the counter, short-circuited by Hildebrand. FIU thinking counter. Lavenant quickly through neutral. Lavenant looking for a service. Rasmus fighting, unable to gain leverage.
And those are the moments where you have to pick and choose when to go. You have to pick your head up and say, look, it's Dos Santos Monteros, it's Tabinski against 3 red jerseys. Let's just put my foot on the ball, rotate, circulate, go out the other way.
2/3 of the opening stanza gone. 0-0. And a misplay by Abrahamson. FAU trusts no one more than Tom Abrahamson, over 1,200 minutes played, team leader. The rare mistake there. Can FAU defend FIU's bid to make them pay for it?
A little tactical change for Colorado. Tabinski's going to be the number 9. It's going to push out a free fit to the left-hand side. You have Nagao as the true number 10. Dos Santos Montero stays as his right winger. A lot of fluidity in that front line for Colorado and the Panthers.
They love Benny's speed from the wing. Like you said, that remains consistent. Trying to give Steven a little more room to work from the perimeter.
Just gives you a different look. Tabinski very comfortable with his back to goal as the target man. It's not going to really spin you running behind. But what that's going to do is going to give a lot of real estate for Yushi to play underneath him, Benny to come around the corner, as well as Steven on the other side.
Chaos near mid. Hildebrandt to shake it up. And we've got our first booking, a yellow card issued to Blake Dean.
Maybe a bit of frustration there from Dean. Just catches Hildebrandt extremely late.
Remember, these are the top 2 teams in the conference in yellow cards. They are not afraid to take chances or play physical. Blake Dean will pick up his 3rd yellow of the season. Guys getting ready to come on here for FIU. Matteo Gasparoni and Julian Gastaldi. The Owls get ready to bring Risenen on, but right now all of the attention is to Philip Hildebrandt. And he's back to his feet. Seen a huge uptick in minutes as of late has Philip Hildebrandt. 90 minutes played in 3 of the last 4 matches for FIU. He's got into running shape. His fitness shows here. He withstands the tough tackle. Takes a drink and will get going once again. The FIU chant breaks out. This crowd is ready to explode. All they need is the reason from the hometown Cats. Final day of the regular season all across the American. Panthers in the driver's seat. But a lot of teams, not only FAU, USF, SMU, Tulsa, all rooting against the Panthers in this one. So Gasparoni and Gastaldi do indeed come on for FIU. Hodek and Nagao will go off. And Andreas Risenen does come on for FAU, relieving Zettel. Teo Gasparoni a little bit shaken up down the stretch here. Came in relief late in the FGCU match. A regular starter for the grand majority of this season and a first-teamer last year in CUSA. Tabinski almost for FIU. Afrifa's first opportunity from the wing led to a good run, just not enough room to work.
You can just see how deep FIU is sitting in their defensive half. So the way when you have a mid to low block is the way you're going to beat this is just like this.
Gastaldi, Tabinski couldn't quite settle that ball.
Just quick movements, combination, pulling players out of position. So far, so good for Gastaldi coming into this game, feeling his impact felt, just lacking that last bit of quality there from Tabinski to get on the end of that ball.
Panthers know that FAU is perfectly happy with an equalized match. So it'll take something spectacular to break through that line. Now here come the Owls on their countering bid with Abrahamson out in front. Abrahamson lob in straight to Har. Abrahamson much like many on the FIU side, all conference in FAU's final year in Conference USA. Will have started in every single match in the regular season for the Owls. Strauber takes his time, gets about 2/3 of the way. He's aiming for Nacho. Instead, it's Joao Dominguez, tackled, but a free for right there to reclaim. Panthers continue to head towards goal. Dominguez sets up far side of the field with FIU pushing nearly everything towards the box.
Aiming for right between that 6-yard box and that penalty mark, trying to catch Strawberg off his line.
Joao's ball found Gasparoni. Rasmus runs it down, watches it go for a goal kick. Tabinski thought that was FIU's, does not get the decision.
It's a bit of an interesting call. You can always tell, yes, players like to yell, players like to be animated, but as both teams are going back into the 18-yard box, tells you all you need to know, Corey. It is a corner kick. Fortunate enough for FIU, they get away with one.
Yeah. Paulo Alves will come on to the match. Only played 24 minutes against Charlotte. That's a recent low for him. But he enters now with 9 to go in this half, relieving Bernardo dos Santos Montero. Here come FAU. Well defended by Garcia. Foul against the Owls. Victor Claudel trying to force the issue for Florida Atlantic. The subs coming fast now. Kareev gets ready to enter for FAU. A little bit too long for Alves. Mihai Kareev comes on for the Owls. And Zach Hassel will also enter. Blake Dean with that yellow card will come off. Nacho Elastui also takes a rest here for Florida Atlantic. Lavenant and a Frifa right in the heart. Alves. Back to Steven. Steven runs out of real estate. EJ and Steven Afrifa battling. Foul against Steven Afrifa.
Just needs to be a bit cleaner. Once you get into that final third for FIU, yes, you're doing extremely well in the middle of the field to breaking down the press of FAU. But once you get into that final action of the field, you ask Kyle Russ, who's going to want it to be a bit more cleaner. Too many sloppy turnovers, too many wayward passes, heavy touches.
They haven't really been able to challenge Strauber so far. A couple of shots that have been interesting, but they've gone wide of the mark. That's a little bit too long. Strauber right there once again. They'll just pick it up.
It's always difficult to play in behind when a team's sitting so far back.
Yeah.
Play in front of them, pull players out of position. That's when you have a big emphasis on the relationship between Gostaldi and Tobinski. So Mintz is going to stay high, occupy the center back. It's on Goldasti to find those pockets between lines, to get that ball in the half turn, bring players in like Alves, like Afrifa. And so far for FIU, it's not clicking just yet at the moment.
We've seen FIU be able to break back lines that have played extra defensively throughout this season, but FAU knows this team exceptionally well. They have been the foil. Speaking of, Julien Gastaldi trying to find Tabinski there. That communication you're talking about, Ricky, a little bit off. Har, right where he needs to be.
It's a perfect example of what I was just talking about, Corey. As Gastaldi goes out to the left-hand side, Tabinski pushes over, which is what you want, but just lacking that connection. Tabinski should be able to get that ball, turn over, come out to Alves, because you just see how FAU, they like to press and squeeze this ball onto one side. So be able to change your point of attack, you're going to have a lot of real estate to go out the other way.
Gasperoni. Him and Garcia exchange. Matteo Gasperoni, often the forgotten man on this FIU team. All-conference first teamer a year ago. I don't think we said his name enough. That true midfielder, he facilitates so much offensively and defensively. Even if the score sheet doesn't necessarily show it, didn't get that first goal until late. So important to have that guy who does all the work in the middle third.
And he also just gives you a sense of security and calmness on the midfield. The ability to just connect passes, keep the ball circulating, stay in possession is something that is just so underrated. So I agree with you, Corey. Someone that is not going to show up on the stat sheet, but you're going to miss him when he's on the field.
One of a number of seniors for FIU, shy of 10 this year for the Panthers. This is an incredibly experienced Cats team against a young FAU side, but to the Owls' credit, we are under 5 to go in this first half, and it's still 0-0. The Owls playing with their very season on the line. They need a minimum of a draw. And they might be 49 minutes away from just that, plus extra time if we stay deadlocked. Joao Dominguez battling, remains with FAU though. Victor Claudel forcing the issue for the Owls.
And he's been at the thick of everything for the Owls. Whether say centrally, whether he peels out to the right-hand side. Claudel, the reason why FAU has been a bit dangerous in this first half.
Mayachi plays it short. Moving Mayachi, heavy cross. All the way, end to end, and the Panthers take over. Panthers looking to set up something quick. It's a Frifa. Steven with room to run. A Frifa. Ran out of time. But FAU, they rally up.
But how
Corner
good
kick.
of a ball is this from Gastaldi? Just whips it in around that 18, the back line of the Owls into the path of a Frifa, and I think he just takes too long. Too pedestrian-like, gets his first touch out of him. Last-ditch defending effort from the Owls to deny a free for the opening goal.
Ball short and headed away quickly from the outside. Dominguez's shot is blocked. Alves sends it in, punched away. And an FIU foul spells an end. Far and away, the best opportunity for FIU comes with about 43 minutes elapsed in the first half. But as you said, Afrifa, maybe one too many touches.
And we just keep talking about Steven Afrifa, everything that he has in his locker. He can play behind, he can play in front. But what's important about a striker is how clean is your first touch as well. We've seen time and time again how good he is, how clinical he is once he gets in that situation. And you would bet 9 times out of 10 he'd put that ball in the back of the net, but that first touch just pops up on him, and that gives the time, the space to recover, and the Owls deny him the opening goal here.
First and foremost is the team result, but Afrifa's stats tonight will directly impact the AAC Player of the Year. Steven's currently third in goals and points. We can guarantee the finalists, if you will. It's SMU, UCF, and Steven Afrifa for FIU. Prado for UCF has played less games and doesn't have an assist. Realistically, I think it comes down to a player from Texas or one right here from the 305. The conference champion in the regular season is a big checkbox as that award goes. Final 40. Out wide. Panthers get a throw, and they write the final sentence of the opening chapter. Castelli, 10 to go. Julien taken away, and that is how it ends. Oh, 2-1, out of time anyway. Strauber fired up, nearly.
How good did they hear it? You're going to see the first 15 minutes, how quickly can they get in a rhythm, how quickly can they get comfortable. Afrifa and Nagao need to get on the same page. Those two players have the quality to turn this game in a hat, get them confidence in and around that 18-yard box, pull players out of position, because, Corey, you know what FIU is going to do. They're going to sit back, they're trying to absorb pressure. So how good can you retain the ball, have possession, and ask questions of the goalkeeper of FAU?
The Panthers try and win their second straight regular season title in the second half here in Miami. Corey Brooks, Ricky Lopez-Espin with you here on FIUsports.com. Panthers get a free kick, entrance to the final third.
Now it's an early opportunity for Dominguez just to whip this ball in. They're aiming for right between that 6-yard box, the penalty mark, trying to catch Strawberg. Does he go? Does he stay? Catch him in no man's land with that left peg, trying to look for an in-swinger. You have Sheckerman, you have Hildebrandt on the field. They have a lot of size for FIU at the moment.
Joao's ball high into the Miami night. Gasperoni, the volley. A touch out for a corner kick. Strauber tried to bring it down. That thing just had so much momentum, and FIU goes to the boundary. Bent out, Sheckerman got to it first, across the face. Shiraishi chases it down in time. Joao battling. FIU unable to reclaim possession. Viola and company get the initial clear. Steven Afrifa shoots and just misses off the post.
This all starts with a defensive effort for Dos Santos Matero. He wins this ball right about 25 yards off the box. And Afrifa is so clever in his movement. As he shifts the ball right, what that's going to do is going to push Strawberg to rotate to his left-hand side, trying to squeak it into that near post. Unfortunate enough for Afrifa, just pulls it a bit too much and it goes wide of the goal.
Strauber sends it away for a goal kick. FIU asks the initial question here in half two. Now it's the Owls who get a deep enemy territory throw. Mayashi and Claudel. Claudel forgot the ball. Lavenant keeping it at his feet for a few touches. FIU trying to surge forward with Dominguez. Unable to do so. Weird few touches here for FIU and FAU. Keller switches it over for the Owls. Abrahamson will be patient, embracing the FAU MO. Attack only when the opportunity presents itself. Yushi and Gasperoni couldn't catalyze the FIU attack. Nice move by Joao Dominguez. Here's Dominguez. Joao couldn't bend that the way he wanted to the FIU tunnel and a goal kick.
And once again, I think Joel's a bit too eager. He has my eye sheet. Backpedaling, that's what you want when you're attacker. Make a decision, drop the shoulder, go to the end line. Unable to get his hips around it. That's why you see it go up and over the crossbar. But once again, not even 5 minutes in, FIU is able to turn their defensive duties into attacking opportunities and putting FAU on their heels more oftentimes than not.
Owls watch it go wide. For FIU, it feels like they could just get one. They force FAU to go goal chasing and move that back line up. But for now, the Owls perfectly content to wait this thing out. Beautiful by Shiraishi. Well defended by Leo Keller.
It's a good start in the second half for Keller. Covering a lot of ground. He's a big part of what FAU likes to do offensively and defensively. The ability to clog passing lanes, be hard in the challenge, and also connect passes going forward. Big part of the Owls.
Keller, instrumental in that win against SMU, goes the full 90 in the 2-1 victory for the Owls. That kept their season alive and set up this Sunshine State showdown. Benny from the right side, knocked up and out. Corner kick, FIU. Dos Santos Montero to send it in for the Cats. Benny's ball bent out. Garcia nor Scheckerman could get to it initially. Carlos, cross in. Too high into the Miami Knight, goal kick.
But once again, FIU is having a lot of success in and around that 18-yard box, especially on the edges. But time after time, it's that final action that's lacking. So many times you get into advanced position, you don't give your teammate a chance. How many times have we seen the ball go over the end line, Corey? You're Kyle Russell. That's something that needs to be better if you have any shot of winning this game.
So odd too, right? Normally we can see a free foot or Dos Santos Montero with that final touch. Not just yet for FIU. You tip your cap to the visiting Owls as well. They've made it difficult.
But
you couldn't run that down.
It's a good problem to have as well.
Right.
It'd be a different problem if you're not getting in this position.
True.
You are, but you have the talent. It's just talking about executing, calming yourself, having that composure to whip a ball into a dangerous area.
That confidence while challenged, a big part of the design of the schedule this year for FIU. A lot of road games against really good teams. Going to North Carolina, to New York to take on St. John's. In addition to the transfer to the American, this FIU team has seen it all. Right now, FAU giving them as good as they got. Hildebrandt from the right wing, crosses in. Goal kick.
And I mentioned it in the first half, as FAU likes to press, they like to suffocate you towards one side of the field. So if you're able to switch the point of attack, you're going to have a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
Hildebrandt comes around the corner, but once again, it's that final ball.
Like to see Hildebrandt maybe settle that, be a little more patient instead of launching a cross in. That's a low percentage play.
And we saw early in the first half how many opportunities or second phase opportunities that FIU had just whipping balls into dangerous situations, asking question to Strawberg and that back line.
Shiraishi trying to set up the challenge once again. He's fouled. Waddell the guilty party, so FIU will have an interesting opportunity. With Hodak not in the match at present, the delivery responsibilities come to Dos Santos Montero. The chant of Si Se Puede here in Miami. Gasparoni will be moved outside the wall. FIU trying everything they can in pursuit of an American championship. Benny's ball. Too much gas.
Such a difficult technique from that distance. You have to hit it up and over the wall with a lot of whip on it, but also the placement. Schreiber can see it the whole way through. And Benny does have that in his locker. He's going to want this one back. You know he should be able to put this one on target.
Strauber ready to send it back for FAU. That's been a common refrain tonight. Like you said, a lot of balls going over the end line. Yushi going to war, and he'll take the lesser end of this one, a foul on the Gao. Straight out, and now FIU's going to try and go fast. Panthers looking to attack off the throw, perhaps went too quickly. Still their ball, though. You can hear the FAU fans right in front of us here at the FIU Soccer Stadium. No big surprise, plenty of supporters for both sides. With a short trip between Boca Raton and Miami. Yushi goes down, he is fouled. VJ the guilty party, and FIU will get a free kick as Yushi holds that left leg. Dominguez asks for a stoppage that he will receive. 34-25 to go. They want to give Yushi time to get right. All good. And a round of applause accordingly from the FIU faithful. Scheckerman plays it long. Then he fell down. I don't think it was getting to him anyway. Fumiya Shiraishi challenging in the area. He looks for the call. Ball goes out. A lot of physical play. Multiple players down in the box. But it will be a send away for FAU.
Just this relationship between Dominguez and Shiraishi on this left-hand side, causing all sorts of problems for FIU. As Dominguez comes around and stays wide, Shiraishi is able to drive down the middle of the field. That really puts a lot of emphasis on the decision-making of FAU. They come across, not enough in there to just point to the spot, but once again, getting in those positions, if you're Kyle Russell, you're going to be extremely pleased.
Panthers have made a second home inside the box, but FAU, as they are wont to do, playing a defensive style, doing well. Yushi's genuinely shaken up. He is out of this play. FIU is functionally man down at present. Hildebrandt resets it. Yushi all the way by himself on the Panthers side of the field. Training staff not necessary on the initial injury. Yushi tries to play through it and goes down. So a genuine shakeup, unfortunately, for the most improved player on the FIU side. Julian Gastaldi will come off the bench and will relieve Yushi Nagao. They were going to take Yushi to the near sideline just to tend to him, but he says, I'm all right enough to get to the bench. He will walk gingerly and with some assistance to the FIU side. So Gastaldi, who only played 12 minutes in the Queen City, played a bit near the end of half one and gets a much earlier than expected entrance here in half two. Panthers trying to flex their depth in search of a conference championship in their inaugural campaign in the American. An FAU draw, and their season is extended. They'll be on the road no matter what in the quarterfinals, but they'll be happy to have that quarterfinal matchup and do what they did a year ago, surprise many in the conference tournament. Meanwhile, an FIU victory, they're the #1 seed, and they host throughout. The semis and the championship will be played here in Miami. A change from the old CUSA way of doing things. Ayashi leaves it short, Nacho and him exchange. Looking for the corner, no one to receive on the VJ play, right back to Har and the Panthers. Har, a missile. And Fumiya headed onward. She got enough on it. Gives FAU time to settle. Shiraishi busting back towards the middle, looking for a Frifa. Frifa goes down. FAU able to defend. Abrahamson runs through the left side. Long, heavy ball. Abrahamson trying to do it all himself right now for FAU. Abrahamson still with it at his feet. And Lavenant eventually ends the surge. A lot of running for 2-0 in the FAU uniform.
Just shows you how explosive Abrahamson is on that left-hand side. Draws in a lot of attention. But once he gets in and cuts in, he's looking for that secondary movement, which doesn't come from an FAU player. Why he's forced to play centrally. But give credit to FIU, their defensive recovery runs were perfect to deny FAU a shot on goal.
And Abrahamson right back to where he needs to be. He's the one who draws the foul. Coming off an assist in the last game for the Owls, you can see why right there, that flexibility on the wing. Clock stops a little over 30. Can FIU open the floodgates? Or does this thing very much come down to just one opportunity? Shiraishi plays it up. Dos Santos Montero. Benny whipped in and caught the waiting hand of Neil Strauber.
But this is just so good from Shiraishi. He starts on his left-hand side. As he draws centrally, requires just so much attention. The timing, Benny shifts out to the right-hand side, plays it into this path, and 1v1, that's where you want Dos Santos Montero. Just a special player. Tries to go near post. Big-time save from Strauber.
Dos Santos Montero right back on the ball. He delivers into the area. First handled by FAU. Hildebrand. Right back in. A chance in front, nearly finding Gasperoni. Another corner for the Cats.
And when you have the physical and aerial presence like FIU does in and around that 18-yard box, Second phase balls are going to be extremely important, running off and being opportunistic to get yourself into dangerous situations.
We haven't really seen FIU from this corner. Benny from the near side keeps it low, nearly found David Garcia. Panthers get another chance. We've seen it high, we've seen it low, we've seen it bent. Number of options here for the Panthers as they look for goal number 1. Back in. Scheckerman got a piece, but not enough. He doesn't get the final touch. A third straight corner kick for FIU. The Panthers certainly getting their set piece practice. Does it amount to anything? Dos Santos Montero a third time. Denied again. Joao from the left side. Trying to work it middle. Owls where they need to be, and that is sent away by Viola. FIU had the first sub of the half due to the injury. FAU will bring Zettel in just to see what number 12 can do. Zettel, his first career goal against SMU to extend the season for the Owls. The definition of clutch. Gastaldi foul. FIU owes him a debt of gratitude as well. It was that SMU loss that opened the door. But the Panthers are yet to walk through that door. Still zeros with a championship in the balance. Everything still in front of both of these South Florida teams. Fumia with Benny charging. Goes to a Frifa in the middle. Shiraishi trying to run it back down. Tie up favors the Owls. Keller stood strong there. He's had a nice second half. Abrahamson, long through ball. Garcia, David, runs out of room, but wards it off for a goal kick. Lavenant nearly off in sprinting. Keller amidst two Panthers, unable to hold on. Panther possession. Dominguez gets a check on the spot. We've got an Owl down right in front of where this throw will be. FAU training staff will be called upon. Clock stops with just over 26 minutes left. It's certainly been a physical game. Expected no less from these two, with so much on the line. Leg being held up kind of makes you think it's a cramp. The weather nice enough. It's not a blazing hot day and actually a pretty nice night here in Miami, but that does not block cramps, only makes them less likely.
It's perfect football weather.
No kidding. Light breeze, not too hot. Couldn't ask for any more. Not that these two teams are really going to be intimidated by a high temperature.
Exactly, right?
Tough to get a whole lot warmer in the combination of Miami and Boca Raton in the summer. Viola back to his feet. Get some extra hydration. Eric Sesh will get ready to come on. Sesh does indeed enter. Came off the bench against SMU. That was the first non-start in the last 6 matches for FAU coming into play today. Trying to use him as the spark off the bench. They hope so again here as he's the injury replacement. Sesh enters, but it's Panther possession as we resume play here in Miami. FIU into an intriguing position. Corey Brooks, Ricky Lopez-Espin, happy to have you along as the regular season in the AAC is decided. The entire table from top to bottom hangs in the balance between these two. Dos Santos Montero bends it in. Garcia almost. He can't believe it. The Panthers thought they had the go-ahead, but we are still scoreless.
And it's just such a teasing ball here from Dos Santos Montero. Garcia does everything you want, get in front of a goalkeeper, throw him off. But you have to give credit to Strawber. Stays his ground, doesn't let the run dictate his positioning. And how this ball does not end up in the back of the net is beyond me. It's going to take something special from FIU to unlock this game. You talk about special, you look at the talent that is at the disposal of Kyle Russell. That front line, Gastaldi, Dos Santos Montero, Shiraishi, Afrifa, players that need to get going.
The AAC goalkeeper of the week off of the victory against SMU. Neil Strauber has been the difference in this game. And if FAU is to continue their season, he may make it back-to-back goalkeepers of the week. Nobody had more saves in Conference USA a year ago. The conference changes, the talent does not. Dominguez runs it down, sends it long. Stephen Afrifa was the only one there for FIU. Now the Panthers will move number. Good job by Gastaldi to give his guys a chance, but Keller takes it away quickly.
Just seems like sometimes FIU, once they get in transition moments, they're just trying to overcomplicate things. Connect their passes, move the defensive unit of the Owls from left to right and open up gaps. Too many times players trying to cut in, force turnovers. The ball never gets tired. The ball doesn't sweat. Open up gaps against your opposition. That is going to be your best bet. Because if you're FAU, you're playing for the tie. You want to keep your season going. And the more that FIU has turnovers, it plays into your hands.
FIU plays with supreme confidence at all times, and every once in a while that hurts them. Misplay there by the Owls, though. That one got away from Blake Dean. Dean is our only booking to this point in the match. Certainly keeping the eyes on 22. He'll be extremely cautious. Being a player who's been so good as of late. A goal and an assist against Charlotte and an assist against SMU. Coach is trusting him here, even with the cautionary against him. "22 minutes to go." Oh, Gastaldi! And that's where FAU, having so many numbers back, is such a savior for the Owls. Gastaldi makes a nice play. FAU has a misplay, but they have the reinforcements to clean it up.
Just this number sitting right on top of that 18-yard box. There's always going to be a challenge how clean you are with your touch, with your passing, how decisive. 21 minutes plus left for FIU. Trying to find the opening goal here in front of this sellout crowd here in Miami.
The other teams at the top. I'm sure their fans are watching on and absolutely loving how this is playing out. FIU needs a goal, or they open the door for the likes of Tulsa or SMU. FIU's had a ton of corners. This is FAU's chance. Abrahamson leaves it incredibly short, and it comes way out. So the Panthers do the job right out of the gate in the first set piece for FAU. Panthers will go goal hunting with a host of substitutions. Tabinski, Alves, both on for FIU. Afrifa's going to get some rest. They'll bring him back in soon. Shiraishi goes off as well. Gastaldi also replaced. Andrew Bennett will come on. So FIU hoping that fresh legs provide the fresh spark. Deep throw from FIU. Ball quickly in, rebuffed. Hildebrand looks to reset. Abrahamson right there, his clear. Initially stems the tide. David Garcia playing a little closer to goal now. Part of the senior day ceremony, David Garcia, as experienced as it gets. He goes into the box. Chodek will try and send it in. Chodek, long throw in. Scheckerman had a chance. Bennett trying to secure it for FIU. Abrahamson, right out. Cross, nobody there on the switch. Paulo Alves was behind that ball from Lavenant. To go. At this juncture, we're forced to look elsewhere in the American. Tulsa and SMU currently tied. Zero degrees of separation for all the teams at the top here in the AAC. Blake Dean goes off. Yokai Kariv enters. Abrahamson goes long, hard, sees it the entire way, and like a center fielder at the baseball stadium next door, comes up with it easily. Benny playing it up ahead. It's Benny to Benny. Here's Bennett. Bennett lost it a little bit too strong. Did FAU get a touch on it? No.
That's good movement from Bennett from a central position as he makes this diagonal run towards the corner flag. But once you get in that position, there needs to be, one, a secondary movement from another player to give him an option, and two, he needs to whip this ball into a dangerous area. As he requires so much attention, two FAU players come across, and it leaves a big gaping hole, but no one makes that near post run. That's where you miss a player like Steven Afrifa that has that instinct in and around that 6-yard box. But once again, getting in a very good position for FIU, just nothing to show for it so far.
$16:25 to go. Tabinski feeding it up ahead. Cross in blocked. A corner for FIU. These chances so important now. Here comes the corner for the Cats, intercepted immediately by Abrahamson. Volley, Garcia, and sent away. The Owls on every single set piece have had the answer. All the way to the back with Hard. Dos Santos Montero trying to bust towards center. Abrahamson and company there to answer again. FAU will just hold on that back line. 2/3 of half two are gone. We can pretty definitively say last year's result between these two, 4-0 FIU, that is out the door. Right now, it might very well be 1-1 to decide the championship in the American.
This game is just calling for someone to produce a little bit of magic, individual brilliance, whether it's going on yourself, taking on players, combination play. Just feels a bit cagey, no one really breaking through. An opportunity here for the Owls.
Nerves certainly high for both teams with everything on the line against your rival. Shot is blocked. Checkerman did a really nice job going low at the right time. Abrahamson looking for support, finds it out wide. Claudel. Back to Abrahamson. With Benny pressuring. A tired Dos Santos Montero out there grinding it out for FIU. Looking for any bit of space. Lavenant, a beautiful turn to maintain possession. I thought that went up and caught Tabinski's hand. We play on. All's probably right with the world there as FAU takes over.
And Tabinski needs to do a bit better here. It's a good entry ball from Lavenant. Yet at that awkward height, the talent that Tabinski has, the big body frame. You have to use your body a bit better. If you get on that half turn, go forward. It's a 3v2 going back the other way for the Panthers.
The USF Bulls lead 2-0 over UCF. that becomes incredibly interesting for them. As it presently sits, the Bulls would win the American off of an incredible late season surge. If FIU and FAU are deadlocked and SMU ties with Tulsa, USF gets a miracle. They needed a lot to happen, but right now everything is coming up Bulls. Can FIU ruin it for the in-state team by beating a different Florida team in the final 12? Dos Santos Montero walking in, Benny Cross just outside.
But again, Corey, just comes with the vision of Bennett, Topinski, the hold-up play throughout the center of the field. There's so much real estate when you switch to point of attack, and this is the situation where you want Benny. 1v1, how slippery, how smooth is he? Trying to squeak it into that near post, but fortunate enough for the Owls, it goes just wide. But once again, another good move going forward for the Panthers.
11 minutes and 20 seconds left. Garcia runs it down. As if these two weren't tight enough, understanding the stakes. If this thing goes to full-time tied, we will go into extra where one singular mistake ends the game one way or another. Entertains the potential for a walk-off, but we're a long way from that right now. Bennett whips it in. Not this time. Of course, if nothing happens in extra time, this game ends in a draw. We're not in the postseason yet. No penalty kicks to decide a match. Gasperoni on, relieving Lavenant. Stephen Afrifa has had his designated rest. The lead man for FIU returns in the final 10. Does he have a bit of magic to put the Panthers on to the championship? Cross in, sent away. FAU has been on everything in the box. Pratt right there to handle it for the Owls.
Now it comes on that front line. There's the relationship from that front three for Kyle Russell, whether it's Bennett, Topinski, or Frifa. One needs to stay high, one needs to come underneath, and one tests and runs in behind. That way you're going to confuse the back line of the Owls. Do they stay with the man? Do they go with the runner?
Dean, cross in. He just came back in as well. Joao lost his footing, but no harm on it.
But what can happen, Corey, is just all three just standing there waiting for the ball to feed.
Yeah.
That's when it's far too easy for the opposition to defend them. Topinski, more of a target man. Bennett's going to play withdrawn, but a free fall. Look for him to get in behind. And as they drop in behind the Owls, it's going to have a lot of real estate for whether it's Hodek, whether it's Bennett, to get on the half turn until you have the isolation play for Dos Santos Montero on the whiz. You have Hildebrand on the far side. So you need to start playing off of each other for FIU. You have 8 minutes plus some change here. Try to find this unlock if you want to host a trophy in regulation time.
Abrahamson surrounded by a pair of Panthers. Excellently located.
Good challenge.
Garcia hamstrings the run for the Owls. And David goes forward. Here's Afrifa. Trying to one touch from Rasmus. Stephen Afrifa. Walled off, goes down. Goal kick, FAU.
And you have to give credit to Pratt. He's been terrific in that back line of FAU. Just the relationship, the understanding, the way that he's positioning. He's put a heck of a shift in this game. There's reason why he's been so good this year for the FAU Owls.
Second on this team in minutes played in Pratt. He was all Conference USA back when these guys were in CUSA. Was a bit shaken up, but got his full 90 minutes of play against SMU, first in nearly a month. And his return to fitness has shepherded this elite run of play from FAU, particularly defensively. Off of Abrahamson, FIU ball. Seven to go. Hodek, ball in, intercepted, loose in the area on out. Corner for FIU. There are not many opportunities left. What do the Panthers have in the dying embers? The captain, Julian Hodek, puts it in. A Frifa got a head on it. Send away for the Owls.
And he rises up above everyone else. Just so unlucky not to put this on target, a free foot. And once again, FIU knocking at the doorstep.
We play on. The hopes for a championship are not over if FIU doesn't score. They need the result between SMU and Tulsa to stay at what it's at, a draw, and UCF to come back. Oh, Afrifa runs in, volleys it up and goes down. FIU fans with their hands in the air, but nothing's coming of it. Parr way up, but he made the right decision. And now play will be stopped with Neil Strauber shaken up in the box. What do you think, Ricky? Right call?
It's such a gray area for a referee. On one hand, Afrifa gets there before the goalkeeper. And as the goalkeeper takes him out, it enables Afrifa to continue his run. If he continues his run, it's an easy goal for Steven Afrifa, yes?
Yep.
So that in itself needs to be a point to the spot. But secondly, it's a high boot from Afrifa as he has towards the head of Strawberg. That's another call for the referee. This is where you have that gray area, and that comes to the decision of the referee. If I'm wearing blue tonight, I'm pointing to the spot. It's a clear-cut penalty. Just the sole fact that Afrifa gets there before Strawberg, takes him out, and is unable to continue his run to find the opening goal.
Strauber gets up. Neil Strauber continues to be the MVP in this one.
But what I don't agree with it is that it's a no call.
Sure.
It's either a foul on Afrifa, it's a foul on the goalkeeper, but you can't let a play like that just go unnoticed.
Right.
Like a call like that can change this game, and a game that a regular season title is on the line. Needs to be a bit more consistent in terms of referee. Is it a foul on Afrifa? It's a foul on Strawberg. There's no gray area between that one.
Kyle Russell was fired up, understandably so. Still nothing doing as we near the final 5. Afrifa trying to withstand 3 different tackling bids, couldn't do so. FAU looking for a counter behind Dean. Dean, nice move, plays it up, working for Claudel. Claudel brought down by Checkerman. Here come FIU the other way. Here's that switch. Afrifa had to go way up.
And now it all comes for FIU in terms of balance. Yes, you want to find that opening goal, but as you commit a lot of numbers forward, you have to be extremely careful not to leave yourself vulnerable in the back with opening gaps. We've seen a handful of times how explosive FAU is going back the other way.
How about this from Kyle Russell? Lucas Christensen will come into this match. A young man that has only played 2 matches this season prior to this point. the last of the FIU Panthers to get healthy this year, but they love him, they trust him. Lucas Christensen in the Final Four. Bennett, nice move through. Intercepted, and it comes out to Gasperoni. Hodek, Julian Hodek, lob in, Bennett scores! Go, go! FIU certainly on to the top of the table now!
And he doesn't start the game. But your number one rule as a substitute is to give something that this game was lacking. Raise the level, give the energy, give the quality that's coming on, especially in the second half. Bennett has been terrific in terms of playing into the pockets, kick-starting attack. And this game was always going to call for something special, an individual brilliant play. How many times have we seen FAU sit on top of this 18-yard box, deny everything from FIU? You bring your captain in, Hodek, the quality that he possesses to whip a ball into a dangerous situation. Bennett getting himself in and around that 18-yard box in between the pocket. As Hodek picks up his head, he sees the run of Bennett, and there's no keeper, not only in the Conference America, and the NCAA Division I men's soccer is going to stop that goal. What a timely goal for FIU. 3 minutes plus change, and your regular season champions.
Andrew Bennett did not play in the win in Charlotte. He comes in and scores his second goal of the year to potentially put FIU on to an American Conference championship. And now if you're FAU, you are going goal chasing in a big way. And what a pass from the captain, Julian Hodek, to set it all up. His 5th assist this year.
But now it comes about balance for FAU. As they're going to try to commit numbers forward to claw themselves back into this game, look out for FIU on the counterattack. It's going to leave himself extremely vulnerable. You have players like Dos Santos Montero that is going to be on. The man that's on the ground right now, Simon Afrifa, that can change this game with just the pure pace. How clever they are to play in the pockets and then spin around and go in behind and test the shape of FAU. It's going to be a very exciting 3 minutes for Kyle Russell here.
Just like that, the destiny of the American has shifted dramatically. And FIU, that has largely not given up a single opportunity today, must defend for 3.5 minutes. A far cry from the clincher against Marshall. That match was long over by this juncture. The celebration had begun in earnest at this point. Early celebration potentially lethal. FIU must be on in every facet, with the FAU season suddenly reduced to 3 minutes. No foul. Panthers send it up with numbers away. Oh, she couldn't handle it. Here's Dos Santos Montero. Benny. Beautiful moves left side. Dos Santos Montero looks for support. Cross in. Oh, what a save by Strauber. It just sat in front of him, and Strauber keeps FAU alive. Here comes the Abramson counter. Oh, what a job by Matteo Gasperoni. Benny hit hard, looks for a foul, won't get it. In fact, the whistle goes against the Cats. So the booking comes out with 2:25. Didn't initially look like that call was going to favor FIU. It does. Second yellow of the match for the Owls. Joao and Lavenant, along with Afrifa. Afrifa comes flying in. The longer the ball is at this end of the pitch, the more it favors FIU. Panthers will go to the bench. Take some time, get some fresh legs. Matias Lavenant and Edgar Aguilar. Aguilar on for the first time. The Panthers get more of a defensive bent in the final 2 minutes. The narrowest possible margin in a rivalry renewed. Can FIU hold on? Foul against the Panthers. Last 2 minutes. This may be the final gasp for FAU this season. Great job by Checkerman. Nice turn, defending needed. Into the area, hard. Hasn't had to do a lot. When needed though, he's answered. 90 seconds separate FIU from their second straight trophy raising in the 305. The difference this year is that in the American, you win and you go nowhere for the conference tournament. The entirety of the AAC will play in Miami. Foul against the Panthers. This is it. One final chance for FAU to extend their life. Jack Ederman goes up again, earns the header. Carlos still needed. Out, Panther possession. FIU will take their sweet, sweet time to throw this in. Rasmus sends it up to Benny. 30 to go. Benny loses it, but FAU has to go fast. 20 seconds left. One FIU turnover wins them this conference. Long ball played up. To the wing it goes, cross in. Aguilar and Har has it. FIU was picked to tie for third in their first year in the American. Instead, they win the whole thing.